I know it's been a while, but I'm gonna just jump right back into it. Since the Spurs are on the verge of another deep postseason run, I thought it was only right to make a topic on the Spurs, and I kind of want to discuss why the Spurs have been successful for so long. Listen, I know people have done this topic and have explored this topic before and have answers. I kind of just broke it down into four things, and I'll give you guys those four things for why I think the Spurs have been successful for so long. Number one, the leadership is in place, and when I say leadership, I mean the right leadership. Tim Duncan and Greg Popovich, it really starts with them. Listen, there's a reason why teenage boys are charged more by insurance companies than teenage girls because teenage boys mature later. You need to have maturity in your locker room. You need to have the right leaders in your locker room that play the game the right way and teach the young rookies the game the right way. And so Greg Popovich and Tim Duncan are the perfect leaders that you don't really find in every locker room. Your track record speaks for itself. You don't find Tim Duncan getting the off-court trouble or Greg Popovich. You don't hear them in the news. It really speaks volumes to the leadership that they have in place that a lot of teams would like to have at their helm. Number two, guys aren't stubborn. Listen, I get a lot of hate mail from Kobe fans. Not because I don't like Kobe, it's just because I thought the Lakers made a big mistake by re-signing him to the value that they re-signed him at, which was double his market value. But that's Kobe, you guys. All right, he wants to get paid like he's still the best player in the NBA, which he's not. He needs to realize that, but still, that's another topic for another day. Listen, no one on the Spurs is stubborn, and that's the beautiful part about it because you have Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili. No one wants to dominate. No one wants to be like, all right, let me take the last shot. It's all sacrificial for the betterment of the team. That's probably the biggest reason why the Miami Heat have been successful and have won 2 titles is because you sacrifice for the betterment of the team. You can't have one person above anyone else. Egos can't get in the way, and they don't with the Spurs. Number three, front office manages and the coach coaches. I bring up this point because you are starting to see this trend a lot. Knicks hired Phil Jackson to be president of basketball operations. Then you hear whispers about him coaching. Stan Van Gundy got hired in Detroit, and he's going to be not only the head coach but president of basketball operations. Listen, being an NBA coach is taxing as it is alone. How in the world are you going to manage all of the entire basketball operations, player management, trades, roster moves, whatever, and still deal with the stresses of being a coach? No, it doesn't work that way. There's a reason why you have a general manager and why you have a coach. You can't just coexist both. The front office lets Pop do what Pop needs to do, and they do what they need to do. They do talk and communicate, but by and large, they're a separate entity, and that's how it needs to be. Number four, and probably the most important reason, health. Greg Popovich, the biggest reason why I think he's the best coach in the NBA is because he manages health like no other coaches. The Spurs were the first freaking team in NBA history to not have one player, not even one player, average more than 30 minutes on the court. That's some damn good coaching. That tells me the coach knows his roster and he knows it well. And you see the rigors of an NBA season, 82 games, a game in mid of February or late November is not the same as a playoff game. You rest guys when they need rest, and you play guys when you need to play them. Managing health is probably the biggest reason the Spurs have been successful for so long. Tim Duncan is still fresh to this day because Greg Popovich keeps him fresh. Same goes for Ginobili, Parker, and all these guys. It's just been incredible what he's been able to do, and I hope other coaches have taken notice of that with their older veteran players or even their young stars and made sure they're not burning them out. So there you have, folks, 4 reasons. I guess I'd say 4 reasons for why the Spurs have been successful for so long. Listen, I'm not the biggest Spurs fan, but I do appreciate greatness, and what I've witnessed from the Spurs for the past like 10 years or so, the last decade, that's been greatness. So I should definitely appreciate it, man. Don't forget to comment below, subscribe, hit me up on Twitter. I'll post a link for that. But yeah, man.